So today I will be making a 5-course entree from India. My 5-course entrees include buttered chicken, which is the main entree, masala chai, which is the drink that comes with it, naan bread with garlic butter sauce on it, which is an appetizer slash side. I'll be making corn on the cob, like kind of with an Indian style twist, and I'll be also making a dessert, like a coconut dessert. So this is all I got from Hy-Vee. I got some boneless chicken breasts, got some half and half, some naan bread, butter, garlic, coconut, onion, tomato, cumin, crushed red pepper, coconut milk, corn, a lime, a root of ginger, cilantro, and vegetable oil. So before we get started here, we're going to wash our hands in hot water for about 20 to 25 seconds. So as you can see here, we want to put our hair up, we want to wash our hands, and just overall be good in practicing safe sanitation. It is very common in India to always wash your hands before and after eating because they do eat with their hands and they eat on the ground sometimes. So it's really important to also practice safe sanitation in that way as well. We put a shirt on because the sweatshirt has sleeves. So we got our onion here and we're just going to quick peel this off and then we're going to end up mincing it. So here's me peeling the onion and then mincing the onion. And it took me a very long time to get this all peeled. So some common dishes in India that we did not make today would be samosa, which is a snack, dal soup, which is a soup. We did make masala chai. We did not make tandoori chicken, which is very common in India as well. Curry is the most common in India, and I should have made this, but I did not. I made naan, and biryani is a dinner type of food, and it is very common in India as well. While we are chopping up this onion, I will go over some common cooking utensils and cookware that is very relevant in India. Some being a spice grinder because they like to use lots of spices in their entrees. A balan is also a rolling pin. A tawa is a griddle pan. Idli stand is very common, as well as the mortar and pestle. And the modak mold is also very common. While we are preparing to cook our entree, I will go over some popular entrees in India. One being buttered chicken, which is what I am making, biryani, then we have korma, madras curry, and tandoori chicken are 5 of the main entrees in India. So here I'm just dicing, not mincing, just dicing my onions here. I'm just going to cut them up like this a little bit. The recipe says to do a whole medium onion, and I bought a large onion, so I put some aside over there. So this is just how it works. Oh, shit. I mean, shoot. I'm sorry. It just hurts. So as you can see, I diced that. So now I might not put all these in here, but I'm just gonna put this in the medium saucepan over here. And then we're gonna turn this on medium to high. We're just gonna let these caramelize. So in the pan, we have a tablespoon of butter, a tablespoon of vegetable oil, and some cut up onion. I might sprinkle some more on here. Okay, and we're gonna turn this to medium. I'm just gonna turn it to 6 there. So in this video here, we are cutting up 1 teaspoon of ginger and 2 garlic cloves. Fun fact, did you know that rice is one of the biggest exports out from India with a value of $10 billion per year? I'm not cooking any rice, but I thought that it was a fun fact. So again, in this video, we are mincing 1 teaspoon of ginger and 2 garlic cloves out of the garlic plant. After we are done with that, we are going to wait for the onions to caramelize, and then we are going to add the ginger and the garlic cloves. So the recipe does say to add the minced up garlic and the ginger after the onions have caramelized, because they're only supposed to be in there for 30 seconds on high heat. Here with a rubber spatula, scoop of oil, onions, butter all mixed together. Dump this ginger in. Just gonna stir that in here. In this clip, we are finally mincing our garlic cloves and not just the ginger. So we did mince this garlic after the fact that we did mince the ginger. So now that we got the garlic all minced up, we're just gonna put this in here. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna turn this down a bit with the onions, and we got our chicken breast here, and we are gonna cut this into 3/4 of an inch. If you've ever been to India or even heard about their culture, you can notice that India holds a lot of value in their religious food customs. One food custom that they have is that you must offer food to God. While dining in or dining out, it is very important to give food to God on a separate plate, because it shows how thankful you are that you were able to eat that food. Another custom is that Muslims are prohibited from eating pork or shellfish in India, so that is why they use a lot of chicken in their recipes. So we did just wash our knife and our cutting board just because we had chicken on it, and that could lead to cross-contamination. Yeah. See how we're cooking this. You gotta get the chicken all the way cooked, because if you don't, you could get really sick. So while this is cooking, we're just stirring a little bit, trying to get the chicken to not have any pink, no pink at all. You get really sick. Now I'm gonna pour in my 1 cup of half and half. So now I'm gonna put 8 ounces of our tomato sauce in here. Here's the 8-ounce mark. And I had just washed the liquid measuring cup before this. So we got 8 ounces here. It's right in there. I'm just gonna stir this here. And that half and half and the tomato sauce is gonna make butter chicken orange here. So I'm just gonna stir this here. Here I added a teaspoon of cumin to the chicken. And then we got a teaspoon of salt. Oh my god, I'm out of salt. Great. Did about a half of a teaspoon of salt. So we're gonna another half here. And then we're gonna do a teaspoon of chili pepper. I meant chili powder. I'm sorry. Go to a tablespoon for a sec. Do a teaspoon of chili powder. And now we're gonna do 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Black pepper, brown pepper, whatever you have. And I'm just gonna eyeball it a little bit. Yeah. So now I'm gonna give this a stir here. So while this is cooking here, we are gonna preheat the oven to about 350 for the naan bread. To continue with our religious food customs in India conversation, one other thing is that the Parsis religion must eat an abundance of poultry and lamb. So that is also another reason why they use a lot of poultry in their recipes. One other food custom is that some religions will not go to a restaurant where meat is served because they may not eat it, and it might be a thing of like cross-contamination that they don't really want to be a part of. So while our naan is in the oven, some popular appetizers in India are chaat, dosa, naan, papadum, and paratha. Just here I'm making sure that I'm cleaning up after my mess, as it was very messy. So to make the garlic buttery thing that we put over the naan bread. We're gonna grab a knife here and we're gonna cut off 3 tablespoons of butter and then put this in here. We're gonna melt this and we're just gonna melt this in the microwave here. So we got our melted butter here. We're just gonna grab a few garlic cloves. We're gonna grab 2 and then we're just gonna mince those up here. So here I'm just mincing up some garlic for the garlic butter sauce over the naan. So here is going to be our garlic butter paste for our naan bread. Here I'm just spreading the garlic butter sauce over the naan bread, making sure that it's spread evenly. For my third entree, I'm going to be making chai. It's called masala chai. So all it is really just, you put 2 tea bags. So our water is boiled, we're gonna turn that off. Or you could just do it this way too. Okay. Put that to the side. So then we're just gonna dunk this tea in like this. And we're gonna add, I'm just gonna eyeball it, but I'm gonna add a little bit of cinnamon in here. And then I do have sugar cubes, so I'm gonna add a couple of sugar cubes to mine here. And then I'm just gonna grab a spoon and give this a good mix. While we're making chai, some other popular drinks in India include kapi, lassi, masala chas, and paneer soda. So up next for our coconut lotto balls, we're gonna have some shredded coconut, and we're just gonna place it on a pan in the oven, and I preheated it to 350. Okay, so our coconut did turn light brown in the stove here, so we're just gonna hold this out. The recipe called for coconut to be baked in an oven at 350 until brown. Transfer all of this in here. Careful, I have nails, so this doesn't hurt. So this is the shredded coconut. Turn off our oven here. We're all done with that. And now, so we're just gonna go like this, fluff it up a bit. And now we're gonna put condensed milk. Add a little bit. Oh, it's a little slow. So don't add the whole thing, but now we're gonna mix this with our spoon. Some Indian history is that Indian cuisine dates back over 5,000 years, and each religion has its own traditions, religions, and culture that influence its food. Hindus are vegetarian, and Muslims tend to have meat dishes, although they are forbidden to eat pork. Indian food has been influenced by Mongolian, Persian, and Chinese cuisine, and others. So now that we got the right consistency, we're gonna grab one of these and we're just gonna put them on a plate, kind of in a ball-shaped form. I messed this up a little bit because I put too much, I think, because you're supposed to be able to roll them in a ball, but mine doesn't look like you can roll it in a ball. So I might have messed this part up a little bit, but we're just gonna place them on the plate here. It looks really bad, but they're supposed to be into balls, and I put too much condensed milk in there, but that is for our dessert. So I put, for my 5th entree, I'm gonna do corn on the cob with an Indian style twist. And so while I preheated the oven to about 425, I kind of guesstimated it, but while that is preheating, we're gonna shuck this corn here, and I'm just doing it in this pail here to this bucket, so I can throw it away at the end. Have no mess. So I'm making corn on the cob, and that is a very American thing, but the spices that I'm adding to the corn is what makes it an Indian style twist. So some popular spices in India includes turmeric, red chili powder, cumin seed, ginger, curry leaves, and coriander leaves. For this Indian-style twist corn, I'm going to be adding turmeric and paprika just sprinkled on top of the corn, and so it makes it more flavorful and more like an Indian style entree. So here I set the table as what Indian table setting would look like. I also want to mention some basic table manners or etiquette at the dinner table. So in India, food should always be eaten with the right hand. The left hand is always used to serve the food or pass the food down the table. Another proper etiquette in India is that they never share utensils, but they do share food. So it's very important to keep sanitation mannerly. And one last etiquette is that most cultures eat food on banana leaves in India. So that is very cool to me. And then here I'm just rotating the corn about 180 to 260 degrees just so it gets both sides. I'm just gonna roll this in butter here. So here we're just adding some spices to this corn. So we're adding salt, and I forgot that I added paprika as well, but I also added turmeric sprinkled on top, but I forgot to record that in that video. Now we're almost done with cooking, so I thought that I would share some traditional food customs in India. Some traditional food customs are that there are a lot of people in a lot of cultures that eat with their hands to gather the taste, feel, and meaning of their food. They also do thali style eating, which is a plate with many compartments to try everything. In India, sharing food is considered friendly, and you must eat all of your food, as it is disrespectful to have leftovers. So here is the end result. Here we got our coconut laddo balls, we got our buttered chicken, our naan with garlic butter sauce on it, and we got our corn, and we got our masala chai. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed watching me make a 5-course entree from India.